Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz. Jack later still like Jackson, so we're coming from my little galley kitchen here. I apologize. So, I'm going to try this. Every time I have tried peppermint bark, it is screwed up. I think peppermint is cursed, or I am cursed with peppermint. Either way. So we're going to try 3 different types. Maybe I'll have a better look with the other stuff. But we'll see. Before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. Get notifications down in that corner. Ring the little bell. So we get these as close to Tuesdays and Fridays as possible. We get updates when we get those done. Or and also, there's a link down in the doobly for our merch, like our apron, pot holders, bake hands, spatulas, flippers, all kind of stuff. We're a small business. We very much appreciate it. And let's get into this and hope I don't screw it up. Hey.
All right, this one's so simple, I'm going to do 3 of them. So for your mint one, you want peppermint extract. You want some kind of peppermint. I got one of these big sticks for like $1. And then 2 things of this. You can use dark or semi-sweet, and then the white, it's up to you which ones you want to use for that. So that's for your the peppermint bark. Now, for the butterscotch, you can use some butterscotch baking. These are all 10 to 12 ounce stuff, and then the white, and then some crushed up Heath bars. Those are magically already made. The peanut butter one, white, and then the peanut butter chips, and then some peanuts on top. The salted ones, I try to get those. I don't do the honey roasted. You're going to want some parchment paper, really helps out. And then that's it. So all these are kind of prepared exactly the same. So you get a Ziploc bag, and you want to get these in here. You want 3 or 4 like actual candy canes. I'm going to mash up this whole stick. I'm not going to use but like a quarter of it. So go ahead and try to get the plastic off. I just reach and just pull that off there. Put it in here. Best you can. Just try to keep the plastic out of it is the best bet. Now, you can get a rolling pin, or like I'm using a tenderizer thing you want. It said 3/4 of a cup of this stuff, but that's not going to cover all the stuff that we have here unless you run it like really, really thin somehow. So once you go in here, you can use your hand or a spoon, or just get your tenderizer. Just don't use the pokey one. I mean, it's already going to be blowing holes in there, so just be very careful. I put my hand on it. So just go ahead and smash this up. Now, be careful where you're doing this. Don't want to break anything underneath it. I almost broke one of my coils on my stovetop doing that. And you want to not do this in the middle of the night. I found that out the hard way. My neighbors are very mad. It said bash it into like dust, just the crumblies. So I don't try to do the whole dust. I just don't want giant pieces of it. Mostly because when I try to break it later, I stab myself with the thumb pretty hard. So I get this out and then just put it in the mixing cup, or the measuring cup, sorry, by itself, and set it to the side. Now, any of the toppings, like if you can't find the Heath stuff, just don't use it. Peanuts the same way. Just go ahead and put it in the bag and bash the hell out of it. You're good. So peanuts the same thing. I don't like bashing them too small, like the actual peanuts or whatever, because it starts limiting on like actual peanut butter. So to get you a nice microwave safe bowl, all right, and you're going to put all your chips here. Now, for the peppermint bark, you want the dark or semi-sweet stuff on the bottom. We're going to put it in there for 30 seconds at a time in your microwave. Okay, this is all microwave work. You want, if it gets too high, you want to do it at 15, which every 30 seconds or every 15 seconds, you want to get it out and like stir it. To kind of help move stuff around, I put my parchment stuff in bowls or on serving trays or on cooking dishes, whatever, just to make for the ease of the carrying, and then use a spatula. My official one is is in the dishwasher. So get them out and stir it. Apparently I can't put that over there, but be very careful getting that out of there. I burnt the living crap out of myself. So this is after about a minute and a half, whatever. Stir it after every one. You want to make sure it's nice and put in there. You don't have any big pieces of chips on the corners, but make sure to stir it every 30 seconds. Put it in here on your parchment paper. Go ahead and spread it out using a spatula or whatever spoon you got. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be pretty. You want to try to get it as thin as possible. You don't want it super thick, but that's fine. So once you put it in there, get it nice and smooth, put it in the fridge for 15 minutes. We're going to come back to it. Now, just the other ones, I'm going to show you that I'm doing the same thing as a base with the white chocolate for, I guess is my peanut butter one that I was doing over here, and that spreads the same way. Just put it on the parchment, spread it out, make it smooth. Peanut butter is the same way. The peanut butter stuff just looks, the peanut butter little Hershey Kisses looking stuff, they just look like peanut butter. So after 15 minutes, this is pretty solid, right? So once you do that, we want a second layer. So there's an extra step to it. So you just want to go ahead and put the white chocolate on top, mostly because you can decorate it. You're going to want to add your peppermint stuff to that. And then I get a little bit of the food coloring and then a toothpick. And I'm going to show you a neat little trick. Completely optional. Don't have to do it. But you want to melt the top, same as the other one, for 30 seconds at a time, 15 seconds at a time. Once it's melted, pull it over here, add half a teaspoon of the peppermint extract to the melted chocolate. Now you need to kind of relatively do this quick, not as quick as my fast forward here, because you don't want it to start solidifying in your bowl. So once you get it mixed in there, just go ahead and scrape it directly on top of your bottom layer, which this is the dark chocolate on bottom with the white chocolate on top. Scrape it in there, and then use your spatula to get the last of it out of your bowl. Remember to let your favorite child lick the bowl and the spoon. Now you're going to take this and spread it out. It doesn't have to cover the exact bottom layer. Like if you want that, you want it thin so it's not giant hunks of this stuff when you're breaking it up, but it doesn't have to be perfect. That's one of these things, like it's dessert, it's chocolate, it's going to be minty. Nobody's going to care if it's exactly different. So your food coloring, put a couple of drops in here. Again, this is an optional part. Just 1 or 2 drops, get your toothpick, and then just kind of scrape it through that top layer. Boop, boop, boop. See how decorative it looks? Be all fancy where it's not just like, hey, here's a giant chunk of chocolate. And it gets in there, makes it look all fancy, whatever. Now, you can get in there, write your name, probably a cuss word, or tell somebody else because they're not going to see it perfectly. So, I wish I would have thought of that before I was doing the recording. And then while it's still melted, go ahead and get that peppermint stuff and go ahead and give it a nice, good coating in there. Okay, try to get it all the way to the edges so you're not just single bites of chocolate in there or whatever. And don't have to use all of it. You can, but it's going to be very minty anyway, so I try to get it just to my edges and do it pretty good. Now put it back in the fridge for another 15, and you're set. So the rest of these are exactly the same. Spread it on top. Now this one I used the brown food coloring. I got this food coloring gel, which worked really well. Made it look super fancy. Again, if you got somebody that might have an allergy, be sure to check. Don't be putting this in the same like house as them or in the whatever. But see, that brown food coloring looks really good on that white chocolate. So I put the white chocolate on top of that. It looks pretty good. I didn't add any to the butterscotch, and my peanuts didn't stick near as much. I wish there was a way to like press them in there without just putting chocolate all over my fingers. But just some peanuts on top of this. Put it back in the fridge. Same thing. Butterscotch, it looks great. It looks like you're putting peanut butter on here. It absolutely smells amazing. Again, stretch it out as best you can. And then I didn't use any food color on this one because it was already brown on the top, and I used those crushed Heath bars that you can buy already pre-crushed, which is pretty nice. Put that on the top in the fridge. Now that they're pretty solid, apparently you can take a knife, put it in here, stab it through, and it's supposed to break apart, but I couldn't get it. But you can just pick this up and break it with your hands. It's relatively easy. I already burnt the hell out of my fingers, so I'm kind of not wanting to grab a whole lot or use a lot of the utensils, but it's not going to be uniform. You want to just kind of break it. Whoop. So, and I'm going to add this to you. So, if you don't stir it, you can overheat your chocolate and it just comes out as a powder. It's not a complete waste. You can still put it right on top and mash it in there and then cover it with peppermint. You can even try to like heat up the bottom layer a little bit and then put it back in there where it'll kind of pick up some of that white chocolate. But it's not a complete loss. So if you overheat it, please don't overheat it. But if you do, that's what happens. So there you have it. That is like muffled in different ways. I really want to find a way to do like a fruit one. I'm not really a chocolate person or a mint person. The butterscotch and peanut butter are way more alley. But if I can find a way to do a fruit one, this is great. So it's chocolate. It's solidified. As long as you keep it in an airtight container and in the refrigerator, it should last for a good long while. It's great for meal prep if you're trying to get fat. I'm going to take it to some family functions or whatever and some of my LARP stuff. So this works out really well. Do you use any other kind of stuff to make this kind of bark? I like putting the white chocolate on top and being able to decorate it, which is really good. I don't know why I did it backwards with the toffee stuff, but I really liked how the toffee flavor turned out. So I'd be willing to try that again. So this is really neat. Again, shout out. I forgot who gave me the idea. Somebody mentioned this the other day, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that for the show. So, yeah, even if it gets overheated and looks horrible, it still tastes great. It's just, hey, chocolate with mint. So, yeah, you got to give this one a try, y'all. Like, let me know how it turns out, or if just the peppermint fairies have cursed me. The fate of mint are just coming after me for mistreating their stuff, I guess.
All right, so there you have it. I told you, the peppermint stuff just doesn't like me. I don't know if I just don't know how to work it or vice versa or whatever. But if you make it work like the other two came out fine. The peanut butter was amazing. The Heath one, that's going to take all my teeth and make my foot fall off. Those are great, but the peppermint is like, nah, screw it, got too hot. Stick it in your ear. So, if you definitely like me see me try it again, give me some hints, let me know, put it down in the comments, that's what they're there for, or you can find us on the social medias. This might be where you found this: Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon, with all those at In Between Paychecks Kitchen, also at Instagram at In Between, had to shorten it down over there. You can find me, Oswey Nerdy, on all those, including Twitter and over on TikTok, mostly just talking nerd stuff, action figures and whatever. So that's the thing. I will see y'all next time. I have way too much sugar in my system. I'm going to go vibrate in a chair somewhere. Y'all be safe. See y'all next time.